we used to have some lads come from Blackpool every weekend that ever came. Climbers they were. They'd sleep in the barn, and I had to make them the dinner at night and the breakfast at morning, and then some supper or tea, whichever you call it, before they went up back off home. And when they got better off, they got one or two motor cars amongst them. And they came all those years. Well, I was down at Sidehouse 14 years, I think. Anyway, and they started coming just after. But they came all those years and they never had an accident until the first day we were at Yodel, and one was killed off Gimmercrag. Right. There used to be what we called the guest houses, and they had the guest house at Barra House, just across from Derwentwater. And they used to come up on 3 coaches, double horse coaches, and then off they would go somewhere. And most of them had glasses of soda water and milk. And then they all had tea when they came back, and that was what they did.
The English Lake District can offer climbers as good a sport as they'll find anywhere, and if they're so minded, with all the perils thrown in. So let's take a look at our climbing boots, with a careful eye for all their good points underneath. Then we'll put on our rope harness and go out to carry the first mountain by assault. But we must take care. The mountain mists are treacherous. They come up almost without warning, and while we're occupied finding hand and footholds on the bare rock, the low-lying clouds might engulf us. Up we go in an almost perpendicular climb. 20 feet of good alpine club rope separating us from a companion. Some of the handholds are good, like this one, and some a little precarious. That corner wants a bit of negotiating, but the going on the whole is risky but pleasant. Rock faces are continually swept by falling stones which have to be guarded against. The stones fall more frequently on some days than on others, according to the weather, so we have to look out for all the signs and take every care. To take these pictures, the camera was pointed almost straight upwards. But we won't look down at it in case, well, you never know. But we can look across the sunlit valley. There's a mist rising, we can smell it and see it, so we must climb with even greater caution. There's no doubt about it now. It's a cold, vapory mist that sweeps over us, for the moment blotting out the rugged peaks and enshrouding the lake below. But just as it can spell disaster to the unwary, it can mean a safety curtain to us. For we're taking no chances, especially as there isn't much further to go. we're making doubly sure of our footholds and feeling exhilarated with a strenuous climb, to say nothing of the glow of conquest at overcoming his mountainous majesty. The last few hundred feet are not easy. The mist has gone, but the goal makes the effort worthwhile. To us, being on top of a mountain feels like being on top of the world.
Top Hackett, he'd got to be a visitor house first as I can remember.
Oh, aye.
That was the First World War when Dr. Zeeman, he was a German. Dr. Zeeman, they called him. We used to take milk up for him, he was a nice fella, no, but when he came up here, they had their eye on him, you know. Aye, Dr. Zeeman. But he'd a practice in London, I think.
Yeah. Well, you see,
But that was about first
Ah.
house what was let to visitors, I think.
there was very few though.
Oh, there was practically.
You see, there was no bed and breakfast. See, there's only third traveller at tourist rest, really, wasn't there? If you
And Miss
visitors?
Peppers,
Oh, Miss Peppers, aye. That's
Daleview.
But you see, then summer only lasted from June till September, didn't it? For
Oh,
visitors.
there wasn't much holidays.
It was only about 3 months of visitors, isn't it, like it is now? Of course, I don't know how they would get here. How would they get with horse and trap?
Oh, they used to fetch them with wagonettes. And, well, I'll tell you, Ivy, we'd got to be a visitor house. Farmhouse with meals. They used to hire a Bell's coach to fetch their family and all their luggage when they came from Coniston's Windermere Station up to the Ivy there. Aye, they did. A two-horse coach used to fetch them.
When would that be?
Oh, about First World, soon after, about First World War. Aye.
In the windswept jaws of Rhino's Pass stands the Three Shire Stone. One pace either way and you're in Cumberland, Westmoreland or Lancashire. According to the common idea of the County Palatine, there ought to be a bunch of dirty mill chimneys in sight somewhere. Strangely enough, there's nothing of the sort to be seen. Northwards, Cumberland and Westmoreland offer you the grand peaks of Pike of Bliscoe, Bowfell and the Langdale Pikes. But turn your face to Lancashire, and you don't have to knock any marks off when you look at Fairfield, Wetherlam and the Old Man of Coniston. True, you will very soon find industry of a sort if you turn south. The finest slate in the world is quarried around here. You may think it's rather a pity to scar the mountains like this, but after all, these grey stone buildings that mean somebody's hard-won livelihood don't spoil the landscape nearly so much as one yellow and red bungalow built for somebody's pleasure.
The ancient quarries are there if you choose to look for them. But why bother when you can rest your eyes on such loveliness as that of Tarn House? There's a Lancashire youngster. You see, they don't all have to dabble in the dirty canal for tiddlers to put in at last jar. When people live in the heart of such beauty, can you wonder that amongst them have been found poets like Wordsworth and artists like Romney? If you must have your Lancashire file indexed as an industrial county, well, here's the oldest industry of them all.
Mother and a cousin went, who was living with us. They took in visitors, and then for the first year, and then that was just about when the youth hostel started up, and they had a youth hostel at Coniston, didn't they, at up the mines there, and they had Black Sail at Ennill, between Wastel and Ennill. And they wanted one in between if they could get one, and they come to Tor House and to see if, well, they went round all the farms to see if anybody would be interested, and they decided to have a go. I mean, they could get a lot more in because they provided us with bunk beds and that sort of thing, so that you were getting, where a room would have only had 2 in before, could get 4 in and that sort of thing, and it got us, we could take about, I think it was about 10 or 12 or something, and it was 3 shilling a night, wasn't it, in those days for the youth hostel, a shilling for the supper, a shilling for the bed and a shilling for the breakfast. They were supposed to do so much work of a night to help make the meal, and so much before they went out in the morning, such as washing up and that sort of thing, but Mother and Mary decided that they could get on much better without the help but either end of the day, and that's what they did, and so we took, they had, the hostel would be at Tor House till they built the new one down near the Woolpack there, just a few years after we left.